In a virtual systemic inquiry, it's the nature of the beast, the context in which the group is trying to do something meaningful that is simply conducive to cause the participants to lose focus over time. We're talking about a situation which I've talked about more than once already, and where we have a distributed group of individuals who are probably already busier than they'd like to be, who are the appropriate people to contribute to understanding the situation and developing an approach to deal with it. And because of the things that they're engaged in already, and this being one more, it is just common for things to distract them, for the effort to lose focus. So it's essential that the collaborators have an extremely well defined intent. It's important that they're all on the same page. And one of the best ways to do that is to actually engage them in refining the definition of the intent, as opposed to completely, or believing that you've completely defined what it is that the situation is and the way that why it has to be addressed, and then trying to sell that to the collaborators as something meaningful that they should contribute to. You provide a looser definition of what the intent is and why it's meaningful to pursue an understanding of that situation, and engage the participants in helping to sort of crystallize or focus what the intent really ought to be. And in doing that, it develops a sense of ownership on the part of the participants, which is absolutely critical. I mean, who washes their rental car? Ownership is critical so that they have that sense of ownership in terms of that intent to to provide the motivation against all odds to continue to pursue that understanding and the approach to dealing with the situation. So, because of the nature of the environment and the participants, one should be prepared to expend effort on an ongoing basis to maintain focus, even though you have an extremely well defined intent, and have managed to develop a sense of ownership on the part of the participants. All of the context in which they operate simply tends to cause the effort to lose focus. So on an ongoing basis, you should expect to have to do things to bring that focus back together. And one of the things that helps that is to use, we think, the systemic strategy process, so that it takes the effort and breaks it up into more meaningful segments, so the collaborators understand that rather than being all over the board, they first have to figure out how to really define or describe the situation, and then develop an understanding of that situation in the context of a model and the stakeholders and the boundaries, and use that to develop a strategy, and what the leverage points are in support of that strategy, in such a way that it actually leads to improving the situation and not unintended consequences. So, by having everyone aware of the particular or the specific step in the process that we're trying to work on and work toward, it helps maintain the focus that's considered to be so essential to go along with the intent and the ownership. And if one gets all of these pieces right, then we have found that it significantly helps or improves the likelihood of some meaningful result at the end of this collaboration. We have and in the next video, when I talk about some case studies, We have had some efforts that have turned out and produced marvelous results, and some which have just gone off of the rails early on, with no chance whatsoever of getting them back lined up. And I'll present to you what we've learned from trial and learning. So hope this has been informative, and I'll see you in the next video.